Hey everybody, this is Ryan. I'm kind of, been really busy, and so this is actually my response to my own contest. This was originally just going to be a favorites video under my favorite series, but I'm actually, just because I want to get it out there so you guys can see it, I'm actually just going to do it on my iPhone, so that's what I'm using, and this is going to be part one of two videos of some of my favorite directed films. Of course, this isn't all of them, but it's some of them. And so the next the next films will be in my next video that I'll probably do tomorrow or something. But so sorry for the low quality on my iPhone, but I wanted to get it out there quick, and I don't have time. I'm about to head out, and I just don't have time to set up the camera and do all the editing and stuff. So let's get started. All right, one of my favorite directed movies, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. This is one of the most tightly woven films of all time. And, just the fact that Kubrick directs it, so seriously, but it's so funny. It's just a brilliant, brilliant way to tell a story, and it just has great filmmaking. The next one is Clockwork Orange, and I wasn't actually going to include any Kubrick, but I couldn't do it without having him in it. And I wasn't going to include this one, but I watched this again last night, and I was just thinking, this is one of the best directed movies ever. And so I was like, I got to include that on the list. You're intoxicated by by the film. You're sucked into it, and it's so unique in the way it's directed, and you could so tell it's Kubrick. The next one is Terrence Malick's Days of Heaven. It's one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. He kind of films this with, kind of like what Roger Ebert says, at arm's length from emotions, just to give it that beauty to where we're not completely devastated by the tragic parts of the movie. But this film is amazing. It's beautiful and very wonderfully directed. Seven Samurai, Akira Kurosawa. He takes an epic and makes it so fast-paced and full of human emotion, and, it just makes it amazing. And I know I'm going through these really quick, but I really wanted to get them out there. Seven Samurai. The next one is Annie Hall, and Woody Allen takes a romantic comedy and really turns it around. And this is like a mixture of Bergman, Fellini. This movie is amazing. He uses everything from subtitles to animation. It's one of the most creative movies ever, and it's hilarious. So, Annie Hall. All right, The Treasure of Sierra Madre, directed by John Huston. And John Huston, he's done Maltese Falcon, Chinatown. Great filmmaker, but this one, it's an awesome story about greed and what it does to people, but he really tells a really intimate story of emotion and greed set with the adventure kind of background, and he does a great job. So this is definitely one of the best directed movies ever, and one of the best Bogart movies. Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver. This movie is amazing, and in the details of the directing, and you kind of get little clues that he's going to lose his mind by the end of the movie. And you might not see it unless you really look at it and all the clues that you're given. And I can't even say enough about this movie. It's just amazing. All right, the next one is by one of my favorite directors, because he directed my favorite movie, but I'm actually not including The Godfather on this part, because Apocalypse Now, you can't ever talk about this movie without the direction. It's legendary. I think, Martin Sheen had a heart attack during filming, and Coppola lost like 1 million pounds or something like that, but the acting and everything in this movie is brilliant. It's like you're really in the Vietnam War, and so it's just such an honest movie. Alright, and the last one for this video is Inception. And I usually don't really talk about newer movies a lot, but this movie definitely needs to go down as being one of the most like brilliantly directed movies of all time. It's so creative and inventive that you have to include it when you're talking about directing. Christopher Nolan is a master director, and I can't wait for the new Batman movie to come out. So, if you haven't seen it, which I'm sure you have, check it out. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video.